So welcome to the second week's reflection. I'm here with Pippa, Ria and Kit, who've all been taking part in the MOOC. Lisa actually can't join us this week. She's been reflecting on all the things you've said and decided she's not really interested in the internet anymore. So that's it. She's burnt all her digital devices and she's now going to go and live on a croft and raise sheep. So where do we want to start? Who wants to kick off with their reflection?
I'll just say one thing that I particularly noticed is that it got me thinking that we can have a physical product and a digital product, but we don't own our digital products. It's something that is completely different to what we're doing physically, so I think that just got me thinking. I'd never really thought about it like that before.
Yeah, for me it's a little bit deeper kind of thinking, because now, just because of the MOOC, we're talking about technology. And then the technology is actually really fast and rapidly going, and we don't know, some of people don't know how to react with that, and then some people really making sure that the technology works. So a lot of questions going on, like what will happen with this all technology that's going on? Is the company that's work on the technology is going to be lifelong span, or they're just going to be there for now? So yeah, I think that's what's going on in my head.
I think MOOC gave me an opportunity to listen to other people, except for people who study marketing, like they are doing the psychological. And I think listening to this specialist to tell me what the customers are thinking, and what they will think about this brand, and it will help me to understand how to do the content marketing and do the digital marketing and bring to broadcast my brand. And they do the marketing strategies in the future.
Okay. Two things struck me, and then I think there's a question we've got to answer too. The first one is this how we use devices. And in the group, you might be aware that behind you here there's a massive group of students. You'll have heard some of them come in late. How do we use all these devices, and do we adopt them? And I think there's a sense even on the MOOC that these technologies are all good, are all beneficial. And yet one thing I saw this week was a massive decline in the use of smartwatches. And I noticed the debate here is similar to kind of people on the MOOC. There's some people who I love all my devices, I can't live without all my devices, and other people are a bit more, I can't really find a use for them. And I think this relates to what you were saying about this rapid change, is that for marketers there's a real problem. Should we leap on the smart wearable technology bandwagon because it's going to be the next big thing? We invest all our resources in that and find after a year nobody's interested in smartwatches anymore. So that was the first thing. I don't know if you want to comment on any of that.
I think relating to like smartwatch stuff, it kind of relates back to owning things physically and digitally. Like for example with the Fitbit, it tracks your heart rate and your movement and everything, but if there's a bug or anything goes wrong with the technology, all of that information gets wiped. Yeah. So you've purchased this product to do these certain things for you, but then if there's a problem, that's all gone. So it kind of makes you wonder what you're actually paying more money for, when you could, technically, if you tracked it yourself, you could just write it down and have it forever. And
the other interesting thing is if you share that data online, the company owns your heartbeat.
Exactly.
So you're kind of surrendering a license to your very heartbeat is a kind of strange idea that people don't enter into. That was the other news item I saw this week, is the death of Vine. And it kind of fitted exactly with the digital consumption objects and digital ownership that's work that Becca Watkins presented on the MOOC, but that Becca and I and Janice at Bournemouth have been working on. And there was Twitter giving reassurances, but also not quite giving reassurances. We're not going to take it down for now.
Yeah.
We'll give people the opportunity to save it.
Yeah.
But what seemed to be the suggestion there is we can't make money from this. We're killing it off. We're going to use a different platform. I don't know if you've got any comments on that.
Well, definitely, because I shared also there in the Facebook post. I mean, like, the questions going on in my head, like, we as a consumers or people, we are bombarded with this lot of social media assets, or there are a lot of platform and applications. We're not really sure, like, is it going to be long lasting? And definitely, if not long lasting, we put everything there, like pictures, videos, and everything. Now that after I read the MOOC, then I found out, like, okay, this is not going to be yours actually. So why do you need to still share about that if that's not going to be yours? And then suddenly fine coming and then say it's closing. So what will happen with all the videos that people shared after that? Which is actually kind of an eye-opening. that's
Well, I think that's something we were conscious of on the MOOC, is that, and so I think a couple of people picked it up in the discussions on the MOOC, that there's a challenge in the MOOC. It's not just how to do digital marketing, but there's a challenge. I think somebody asked the question, what's the relationship between these digital goods and marketing? And I think all the students here are doing a digital marketing, market analytics MScs. I think the link is that companies are now looking to exploit digital assets. And so if you think of something like Facebook, you have to recognise that all your content on Facebook is actually assets that Facebook use to sell against advertising. So it's very much directly related to advertising. And I think I made the point before that Facebook present things the way they do because it's a marketing platform, not because it's a social network. That's just the kind of line they give to consumers. But also, if you think about it, the shift to access rather than ownership, which is at the heart of digital assets, is a marketing shift. It's a change in the way products are produced, the product part of the marketing mix, specifically because it allows for this ongoing valorization, this ongoing generation of profit for companies. I don't know if you have any closing ideas or comments.
I think it's coming back to the ethics again. Like, we always think that Facebook and everything is just a social media and networking stuff. We never think that is a marketing part. And then we always talk about how the company didn't do ethics. Then now we're thinking about how the fine didn't do ethics. Yeah. So, I think that's the kind of critics that we need to keep on asking to them, like, where's the ethics now if we're closing it down?
Who's the we?
No, I mean, like, us as a student.
Well, us as consumers
yes,
too. Us as marketers. Yeah.
I think Facebook use the people's mind they have a desire to speak out, so they want to share something, and so they give their brands the same opportunity to share the product. So they were just sending message and getting message. It's just using another way to do advertising and marketing.
Yep.
It just use people's mind and desire.
Yeah, just to add to that, I think something that I picked up on the MOOC as well is when it comes to marketing, they're like, consumers are using mobile now, we'll target them there, or they're using desktops, we'll target them there. But how do we feel about them picking up on what we're using, and then they'll kind of flood to it and try and get our information? I just thought that was a bit intrusive.
Okay. Okay, that's our summary for week 2. There's one other final thing I was asked, and that is to plug Julia Walney's exercise or survey that she's doing. I think it's in section 2.8, and we'll be back again in a week's time for our kind of closing reflections on the MOOC, I think.